We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Hey everybody, it's Joel from Talkn Toys, and today I am excited about this. We have a new figure review, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Too Bad. Honestly, to say that I'm excited about sharing this is a gross understatement. I am looking forward to sharing this with you and doing a figure review. Ever since this figure was announced, I have been waiting to get my hands on this figure, and it was kind of an ordeal to get to the point where I got him. So now that I have him, let's go ahead and check this figure out. Go ahead and set Too Bad aside, and then we will look at his box here. So first and foremost, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Too Bad, Mattel logo. We go up before we go to the top of the box. We have Masterverse by the Power of Grayskull, 30 points of articulation, and a barcode. Go to this side, Too Bad, double-headed eagle strategist. We have some beautiful box art on the back with a bio on Too Bad. So I'll go ahead and set that back. And of course we have the logo up here. Original designs are inspired by classic concepts. We have the rest of the wave. Of course he's the deluxe figure for this wave, not too bad. And then of course we go to this side and we have another piece of box art for Too Bad, which looks really good. And that, my friends, is the box. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure and take a look at some of these accessories that come with Too Bad. First and foremost, we'll look at the maces here. So this particular mace is $2. It's a nice kind of a green. So you get more of a green, like metallic-y or texture green at the top, and then it kind of just comes down to more of a matte color green. Really nicely sculpted for sure, so I like that. And then we've got Brada's purple mace here, which is just kind of your standard ball mace with spikes on there. Again, it seems like there's more of it's a color change as it goes from the tip of the mace down to the handle here, or at least it feels that way to me. Like this is more shinier, more metallic-y looking, and then it just becomes more matte as it goes down. We also have his shield here, so not bad. So done in that orange metallic, and even the shield has some difference in design. So you have the like more of a spherical shapes on one side, and then you have more of the spiky squares on this side. You have a rough texture across this side of the shield, and a little bit more smooth, even though you have some damage and some wear on there. It showcases two personalities, even so far as under the shield, which I think is actually a really thought out design for that. And then of course we get two extra hands, fists that are closed. You can swap those out and they come on a peg, and that takes care of those accessories. But let's see what else we have here, because he comes with a lot. On the back here he actually has an axe. Again, they're going with the theme that there's two distinct personalities here. So you have this side of the axe, and then you have this side. This one has more like the blades there. This one looks more broken and disheveled. And then you have the eagle with the texture here, and then you have the dragon on this side. Nice gray. The handle on here is actually more of a cream color, so you get a little bit of detail on the handle there, and it is kind of like dirty looking almost. So that was a nice touch. You know me, I like those kind of details. And of course we have his blaster, done metallic, kind of gray and barrel. So nice looking blaster. And of course it just sits right here in this holster. When we get to his axe, it does sit on his back. So we have this little piece here, and it just plugs right on in. And you can actually turn this depending on how you want to, depending on how you want to pose it on the figure. You want it to be more seen and prominent or not. So not too bad there. So the rest of the accessories, of course, that he comes with, he does have the armor here, and some of this stuff can come off. The belt can come off. The actual chest piece can come off, and I believe that this arm piece comes off as well. This is a very soft plastic, almost rubber-like, whereas this is a little bit more stiff and firm plastic. The belt is also more of a stiff plastic as well. Alright, so we can get a closer look at the design on the figure here. So we've got Brada here. It's going to be the taller of the two, as opposed to Tuvar. In the 2002 cartoon, Tuvar was actually the taller of the two. But in this one, it looks like they went ahead and they brought in the taller of the two on here. So We've got this really nice gold paint for his brow here, and we've got some kind of cream color for the teeth. You can look at that head sculpt. Looks really, really nice. I like that. The red eyes on there kind of pops on there. They did mold the scales for Brada into the figure, so that carries all the way across, all the way down. And then for Tuvar, we've got silver for the earring here. We've got the same color teeth, red with black in this time for the pupils, done with a light blue as far as his color scheme goes. And then, of course, we have the same level of articulation most Masterverse figures have. So you're going to have the head spin all the way around. You're going to have the upper chest and torso spin. This one doesn't actually have much of an ab crunch. You get a little bit of a crunch there, but you have the waist spin. You have the thighs, which do come out as a split. You have the thigh turn, double jointed knees. You have the ankles, and they of course go up and down, and they spin, you know, left to right there. We have double jointed elbows, biceps spin. We have the arms that kind of go out about yay far on the figures. And then of course we have the wrists that actually swivel, and they do have a bend for the articulation. So all the articulation that we've come to see from a lot of the Masterverse figures is still very much incorporated. Even though it's two figures here, it's not like they skimped out on any of the articulation, which is actually very nice. Absolutely love it. Some of the other call outs on here is going with the theme that they are actually two personalities, of course. Even the belt will symbolize that. So not just the symbol here, but you can see on one side of the belt we've got the circular studs, and then on this side we have the square studs with spikes, which kind of feels a little weird because everything on this side of him is the square, and then everything on this side is the circle. So you would have thought that maybe it would have been that way, but that's just me. So his hands do switch out. Just pull them out from the post here, and you can plug the new ones in. Just get that in there real quick. I don't know, actually I kind of think about it, it would have been neat, and they probably couldn't have done this, and that's okay. But they add like the butterfly joint here, so that you can kind of re-image or redo that gimmick that they had on the original vintage figure where they could punch each other. You know, you can kind of get that going on here, and you show them off for arguing with each other. Just because it doesn't have that particular piece of articulation does not detract from this figure whatsoever. Still very nice. Across the board, I think this has got to be one of my absolute all-time favorite Masterverse figures. For comparison here, I did bring Trapjaw. Brada is definitely going to be taller than even Trapjaw is. So we definitely get. I wish I had a ruler. I actually forgot my ruler today. Of course, I remembered to bring a figure for comparison, but I did forget my ruler. And even Tovar is actually taller in comparison to Trapjaw, which kind of gives you an idea of the height and size of this particular figure. I like the idea with this figure that they went more with the design from the 2002 cartoon, having that distinctive height difference between the two, as opposed to the symmetrical design that they had for the original cartoon from Funimation. I mean, for animation's sake, I understand why they did it, to try to keep everything nice, crisp, and clean. But this design here actually provides more depth of character, more feel for two distinct people being stuck in this body, as opposed to one person with two heads. And there it is. And that's my view of Too Bad here. One of my favorite figures, probably my number one figure right now for Masterverse. The attention to detail is immaculate. The feeling of the figure is great. He's got some heft to him, some weight. And to add that addition of height has been perfect. This is like when they added Mothman in Wave 1, so that the wave didn't, or these figures don't feel bland or cookie cutter, all being at the same scale, same height, other than what female characters. Adding a henchman or another character into the line that has this extra height to it makes these characters feel more unique. It makes the henchmen feel like they're just not background characters, and I absolutely love it. Definitely highly recommend the figure. Check it out. I actually got mine at Target. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this review and for checking out this figure. Really appreciate you guys joining me on my journey here, and we'll see you on the next review.